5, 4, 3, 2. Hello everyone and welcome to another Gozu-san on the decks with your host Gozu-san. And yeah, we're back. Okay, let's try that again. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello everyone and welcome to another Gozu-san on the decks with your host Gozu-san. And today we are going to talk about more strategies for Plants vs. Zombies 2. And if you don't know where this is heading, this is obviously not TF2 related. So if you're looking for TF2 related videos from me, look somewhere else. Okay, so we're gonna talk about strategies for PvZ2. In our previous 4-part video, I split up the video into 4 parts because it was pretty long. We talked about the type of plants there were in PvZ2, and let me open up something here. Give me a second, guys. Not here, but here. Here it is. We talk about different the plants and how they can be separated to different classes. We already know this. If you watched my previous video, you can watch the first part of the video to so that you can understand what I'm talking about when I'm saying different classes of plants. So look out for that and watch that. But other than that, so we move on to the second video of the series, which is talking about the zombies in Plants vs. Zombies 2 and how to use certain plants to counter them depending on the time. Mainly what I'm here to talk about is during challenge levels. As challenge levels get harder, tougher zombies or more zombies will come in at once in the earlier waves. So mainly that's the main threat here, trying to counter the early dangerous zombies that come in early and you don't really expect them. So we're gonna talk about that. And for the most part, there's nothing I can talk about. Okay, so let's begin. Let's get right down to it. So the first 4 plants you're gonna get are from the tutorial level. You're gonna get your plant for you're gonna get the pea shooter, the sunflower, the walnut, and the potato mine. These 4 right here. These 4 you will get first, and these are the zombies you're gonna face. Now this is pretty easy. Sunflower to build up your economy, pea shooter to try and take out those tough zombies, potato mines used to stall the early waves or to take out bucket hits when they come in. If you have the space, plant them a hit, then you can take this guy out, and yeah, basic defense and stuff like that. So that's not really that hard to figure out, but mainly we'll start on with the special zombies in the main timelines. So first we're going to talk about Raw Zombie, but Raw Zombie is basically Mummy Zombie which steals sun. Simple as that. Though it says it moves slightly faster, though it doesn't really move slightly faster. It will pause at the space it is on and try to steal sun when it knows there's sun there. So if it comes out during the first wave, what you can try and do is to stall the raw zombie by making it steal as many sun as possible. However, there's a drawback. If the raw zombie comes out in the first wave in a challenge level, make sure you get the sun and don't allow him to steal it, because in the long run, if he steals the sun, you're not going to have any sun to plant anything. So time it correctly. Use raw zombies. Exploit the raw zombies' weakness of standing still when he tries to steal sun, but don't do it too much and know when to time it, and stuff like that. I think you get the point. All right, we'll move on to camel zombies. Camel zombies come in a line of 3 or more. And they are quite slow, very slow. In fact, I used the winter melon on there. Oh my god! When the last wave comes, I have to wait for these guys to be killed, and then I finish the level. They are that slow. But here's the thing about camel zombies. They will attack plants one at a time based on who's in front. But if you plant a plant right in the middle of the stack here, all of them will chew on the same plant at once. So yeah. The first plant you're given to counter the camel zombies will be the Bloomerang, because it hits multiple targets, so it can easily neutralize the camel zombies. But another way to take out the camel zombies, first of all, they move very slowly, so the bok choy will be able to eliminate them pretty fast. If you use the iceberg lettuce on the camel zombies, it will freeze all of them with the panel. But make sure, like, if one of the zombies, like the panel of this zombie gets destroyed, you'll be only able to freeze this zombie, and the others two won't be affected. But if you hit all the zombies with panels on, they will all be frozen. So yeah, just to let you know. The same applies for Snow Pea and stuff like that, because you see here the camel zombies are very coordinated. You should read the almanac entry, is actually quite interesting. But they all attack in a coordinated fashion, so exploit the way they attack in coordination to your advantage. Yeah, and if butter lands on one of the camel zombies, that zombie will stun, and then the other two have to like wait around until the butter goes away. So it's quite funny actually. In general, camel zombies are weak against filter plants like the snapdragon or spikeweed, or let's see, or melon pult and the bloomerang. So use filter plants versus camel zombies, and you should be good. Bok choys can also eliminate camel zombies pretty fast, even before they reach the bok choy to deal any damage. So just take a note. But make sure you look out for any zombies that are behind any other zombies that are behind the camel zombies in this case, or else you might be in for a tricky surprise. So yeah. Now we move on to the Explorer zombie, and this is one of those zombies that is so annoying. Yeah, it's pretty annoying. The first plant you're given to counter the Explorer zombie is the iceberg lettuce, but it doesn't kill him. All he does is just extinguish the torch. But mainly it's the torch that you have to be careful about. So there are two ways to do this. Either first you take out the zombie holding the torch, or second you take out the torch and then focus on the zombie. Because in general, if you put a bok choy versus an Explorer zombie, the Explorer zombie will burn the bok choy before it can even deal damage to kill it. Yeah, so Explorer zombies, usually you want to use ranged plants to try and eliminate it. And with levels with a lot of graves, which can block like bloomerangs, pea shooter type weapons, projectiles, you will generally want to try and use lobbed attacks or catapult attacks like the cabbage pult or the melon pult. Explorer zombies are really dangerous if they are sent out pretty early in the game, because usually during that time you're trying to build up your economy, and all of a sudden an Explorer zombie decides to come. There are two ways you can use a one-hit KO plan to try and eliminate it. The potato mine. In fact, funny thing about potato mine versus Explorer zombie, if the potato mine isn't armed, it's still considered to be underground, such that the Explorer zombie would just walk right over it if it's unarmed yet. So it'll just walk right over it. Who knew? If you have the chili bean, oh god, don't ever use the chili bean versus Explorer zombie unless you have like this iceberg lettuce to help back up the chili bean, because the Explorer zombie will just burn the chili bean. It won't have an effect. The best plant to use versus Explorer zombie would be squash early on, but then you need to buy that. Or Snow Pea. Snow Pea is excellent early plant to use versus Explorer zombies. But in general, make sure. But the best choice you have if you are F2P would be use cabbage pult. I'm also F2P. I'm waiting for like PopCap to say, hey, we're going to have a special event that says if you achieve a certain number of stars, you'll be able to purchase the store-bought plants using coins. That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. I'm hoping that it will do something like that. But yeah, you know, PopCap taken over by EA. EA can do anything. I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate on anything. I don't want to go there. Alright, so let's move on. Tomb Raider zombies. Now these zombies, the main problem about the Tomb Raider zombie is because they raise tombs and they have a bit of health, so that it allows them to raise some tombs as well. But in general, if your loadout consists of a lot of catapult plants like the cabbage pult or maybe even the melon pult, winter melon, the Tomb Raider zombies won't be able to do anything. And if you scatter your lawn, your entire lawn with spikeweed, the Tomb Raider zombies ain't gonna have any space to put up any tombs at all, so what's the point? So that's two ways you can counter it. And also remember that the spikeweed doesn't get affected by explorer zombies because they're low. So yeah, just a note. Pharaoh zombie. Now, one-hit KO plants aren't really going to kill the Pharaoh zombie outright. It's mostly just gonna remove the sarcophagus shell, but the zombie will be free and it will just run right straight through your defense if you're not careful. So in general, you want to have a good defense with it. What I would recommend if he is sent in early on is that, excuse me, you use a walnut and you set it up with a bok choy and the spikeweed. You'll deal one hit or 1-2 punch sort of close range damage to the Pharaoh zombies, and with the walnut backing, making sure that the Pharaoh zombie doesn't move around, it should deal quite enough damage early on. But make sure once you this is just early on damage, and the walnut isn't really gonna last too long. So what you do is make sure you build up your other plants as well as you set it up. Good. Also, a coconut cannon won't really, even a direct hit for a coconut cannon won't be able to destroy the sarcophagus shell immediately. It will deal so much damage, it only needs a few more shots for the shell to break, but it won't kill the Pharaoh zombie outright. Just to let you know. Now, let's move on to Pirate Seas levels. Now, for Pirate Seas levels, the first zombie you're going to encounter, which is quite interesting. Oh, so, wait, before I move on, I would like to talk about the mummy zombies that get launched right straight deep into your defenses through like sand tornadoes. Now those zombies, oh gosh, my god, these zombies are absolutely annoying, especially if you have like 4 or 5 of them launched all the way to the third to the third column from your left. These zombies, oh god. Okay, let's see. It doesn't really say much, but okay, never mind. Forget about it. The main problem is when the sandstorm zombies decide to rush in, which is, oh wait, this is the wrong one. Okay. Oh no. Okay, come on, you can do it. Yeah, when the sandstorm zombies come in the later challenge levels, where they go so deep into your defenses that your plants can't really take care of it. In this case, what I like to do is a bit of a creeper maneuver. So what I do is I put my sunflowers at the back first, and then I put my snapdragons right next to the sunflowers in front of them. And then what I'll do is then I'll put another column of snapdragons and then another column of snapdragons and remove the first column and then plant like a repeater or melon pult in the second column, and then you just remove, replace, set up, remove, set up, remove, set up, remove, set up, remove, build up a strong defense from there. Usually the snapdragons will be able to take care of the zombies that get flung far backward, or the melon pults. The melon pults at the back can easily decimate it. You can also use winter melons, which will slow down the normal zombies that fly in. And that works pretty well as well. Or you can also use bong choy since it attacks behind it. Or another tricky, interesting tactic you can use is split pea. Since it fires a repeater through the back, it can also damage the mummy zombies behind it, which is pretty good. But remember that there may be graves that can also block behind the split pea, so just to let you know. So in general, these zombies are only dangerous during the first early waves if they come in groups using tornadoes. So, and in those cases, using bong choy, snapdragon, since it deals more damage to multiple enemies, bong choy since it can attack behind it, or split pea since it also can attack behind it. It's up to you. And I think what works for me usually is a snapdragon, but it's your call as well. So yeah, that will finish off the zombies in ancient Egypt. Alright, now let's move on to Part C's levels. Now Part C's levels, first main zombie that you're gonna meet up is the swashbuckler zombie. And wait, okay. Open this link up, so it should be fine. So the swashbuckler zombie, basically it swings onto your lawn up to 4 rows in, may fall into the ocean. Up to four rows in is basically it. It swings in 4 rows in. So basically what it will usually attack is the unplanked lanes first. But at the same time, the swashbuckler zombie can go into any lane, even those lanes that have been planked. So in general, you want to make sure that the swashbuckler zombie is blocked during this time. So, and if you know that the level is only going to have swashbuckler zombies and nothing else that will fly over unplanked lanes like the seagull zombie or imp cannon, what you can usually do, okay, let me see if we can start paint again. Okay, let's search for paint. Okay, so let's pretend that we have 3 lanes here. Let's say 2 by 2. So you have 2 unplanked lanes here and 2 planked lanes here. Now, if you know there's gonna be swashbuckler zombies coming only, and there aren't gonna be any like seagull zombies or imp cannons that are gonna come, what you can do is you can just put spikes on the unplanked lanes and put a walnut here. 2 spikes, two spikes here, 2 spikes here, walnut here, and usually because no matter how many swashbuckler zombies are gonna be thrown in, the spikes will act as filters to basically just decimate all the swingers here. So basically, it will just and then die around here, and it probably won't be affecting the walnut as well. So you can just take them out and like replace them with extra sunflower or stuff. So basically, these 2 rows are basically sunflower lanes now, and with a couple of spikes, because swashbuckler zombies ain't gonna really do a lot. It's only important like if there are other flying zombies like the imp cannons or the or the seagull zombies that come in. Those are more dangerous in my opinion. So when you meet up with the seagull zombie, you immediately have one problem. As I said, you always want a filter, but this thing won't hurt it. Spikeweed is a very powerful filter, but the only flaw with the spikeweed is that it can't hurt the seagull zombies. And on very high challenge levels, like around level 15 plus, there will be a lot of seagull zombies coming in at once, especially if like you have 4 plank lanes and 1 unplanked lane. There will be a huge number of seagull zombies trying to fly in through the unplanked lane because there's only one. It's not going to be spread out. So, and because there's going to be a lot of seagull zombies at once, if you throw in the bomb tree to try and take out all the seagull zombies at once, it's just going to get overwhelmed. So what you need is a ranged filter. Something which can damage the seagull zombie while it is flying, and which is similar to the which can overtake the spikeweed in this case. In this case, it's early on. It's good to use the Bloomerang. Very good to use the Snapdragon. I would also recommend the Melon Pult, the Winter Melon, or maybe even the Coconut Cannon. But then again, the Coconut Cannon needs time to recharge, and if there's more seagull zombies on the way, it may not recharge in time for it to fire another shot. So good plans to use versus seagull zombies would be Snapdragon and Bloomerang, temporarily of course, and Melon Pulse. Good plans to use versus the seagull zombies. And also remember that if you want to use a one-hit KO plan versus a seagull zombie, you can only use the squash and the chili bean. If you see any seagull zombies, don't bring in the potato mine if you want to try one-hit KO it, because it won't reach the seagull zombie at all. Okay, so that's about it. Then the barrel roller zombie. I think this guy is one of the more annoying zombies in Plants vs Zombies 2. I'm not talking about Pirate Captain Zombie, even though Pirate Captain Zombie steals the first plant in front of it or within range. Zombie Pirate steals the walnut in general. But this guy, especially early in early waves, it's very annoying because yeah, here's the thing. Even if you use Spike to destroy the barrel, 2 imps will jump out of it. But it's better to kill the zombie with a lob shot plant, sorry, the cabbage pult or kernel pult. And remember what I said in the previous video, that pea shooters of all types would in general try and generally be blocked by the barrels, and the zombie will be protected. And if the barrel roller zombie has other zombies behind it, they will generally be very well protected because of the barrel. So what you want to do is you want to get, like as they say here, a catapult type plant will be good, or you can use the Bloomerang. Especially if he just started to go through, if he meets up with the Bloomerang, it will get damaged as well. But that's also not reliable, because it only damages the first 3 targets, and if there's another 2 zombies in front of the barrel roller zombie, it will just hit the 2 zombies and the barrel, but it won't hit the zombie itself that's pushing the barrel. So Bloomerang also not so reliable, especially later on when there's like huge waves of barrel roller zombies just keep on coming at you, and god damn it, you'll be in trouble. Best way, use Melon Pult. Simple, very easy. And especially if you have a good defense going up and the barrel roller zombies can't really push through the first 4 lanes, you can just put like Spikeweed, and the Spikeweed will generally won't really need to do a lot of like barrel demolition, because the barrels will just stop right in front of it, but it won't go over it. So all it has to do is sit there and wait, act as a filter. As I said, spikeweed is better used as a filter rather than destroying rolling objects. So yeah, this is one of the more dangerous plants there are. And like if you destroy you try to use a potato mine or a squash to try to destroy the barrel roller zombies, what you might end up is also crushing, destroying the barrel itself and releasing the imp payload as well. So you seriously need some good attack plants, good ranged plants to take care of the barrel roller zombies. One hit KO plants in general won't cut it. So you will need like a good filter plant or a plant that can destroy the zombie and then take care of the imps later. So yeah, I think you can figure that out pretty easily. Spike Rock not generally worth it. And Peapod isn't really going to work in Paradiso because of the barrels. I hate barrels. Why did it have to be barrels? Alright, next we'll talk about the Imp Cannon. Now the Imp Cannon is a ticking time bomb, basically. It's a ticking time bomb that says like after the Imp Cannon fires like 5 imps, if you don't destroy it immediately, it will self-detonate, releasing several imp pirates flying far into your defense. Now here's the thing. Imp cannons in general, like you will need to make sure that like if you're trying to use like a pea shooter or a repeater to try and destroy the imp cannon, what it will end up doing is it will shoot a while, and then when the first imp gets fired, it will shoot the imp, and then when the imp dies, it will shoot it a bit more, and then another imp gets shot over, and it will repeat the same thing again. And what you end up having is the imps are basically stalling, basically blocking the projectiles and stalling for time for the imp cannon to detonate. Now that's a very vicious cycle in my opinion. That's why the Bloomerang is good in this situation. The Bloomerang, if you put it exactly the moment the imp cannon rolls out, the Bloomerang will be able to destroy it before the imp cannon can detonate. Now, if you have like a Bonk Choi helping out the repeater to take care of the imps, that's great as well. That's absolutely great. But then seagull zombies may fly in as well. So basically, the imp cannon, there's a lot of zombies that can stall time for the imp cannon to detonate, and that is why it is important to bring along filter plants. As I said, filter. Bring along filter plants at all times, but make sure the filter plants have some backup so that it can deal the damage as well. Where if its barrel is destroyed by a jalapeno, the Empire zombies won't come out. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, never mind. But we'll say imp cannon, you need to deal damage as soon as possible. Now that's mainly if the imp cannon is on an unplanked lane. If the imp cannon is on a planked lane, you can just shove in like a spikeweed. And the spikeweed won't immediately be destroyed. It won't immediately destroy the imp cannon, nor the imp cannon will be nor will the spikeweed be immediate. The spikeweed won't immediately destroy the imp cannon, nor will the imp cannon destroy the spikeweed as well. Instead, the spikeweed will deal gradual damage like it normally does to other zombies. So it's a very reliable way of dealing with imp cannons on planked lanes. So yeah. But on unplanked lanes, that's where the problem comes in. So generally, you want like a filter plant, long-range filter plant like the Bloomerang or the Melon Pulp to deal damage. Lightning Ray won't deal piss damage to it at all. And yeah. Alright, let's move on to the next zombie. Now we talk about the last zombie that's here, the Pirate Captain zombie. In general, the Pirate Captain zombie isn't too dangerous, nor is the zombie pirate. I mean, sure, the zombie pirate is annoying and steals your plants, but remember that in general, the pirate zombies only steal the first plant on in front of the frontmost plant in the lane. It's like walnuts. It won't steal spikeweeds. It won't steal spikeweeds. It will steal spring beans. It will steal chili beans and yeah, plants which are in front. And tall nuts, which are quite disastrous if you ask me. But remember that the zombie pirate can still be killed before it can steal anything. So if your damage output is good, you have a proper defense setup, the zombie pirate shouldn't be a problem. But if it does steal the first plant, make sure you kill the pirate captain zombie as soon as you can, or else the zombie pirate can steal the second plant. So yeah, it has a lot of health for a bird brain, I guess. So good strategy versus pirate zombies. You can use butter, sure, you can use butter, but the Colonel will only be able to shoot once, and then the zombie pirate will just fly away with the item, so it's not very reliable. Very good would be to use snapdragons or use like winter melons to try and slow it down. You can use snow peas to try and slow it down. Give your team, give your plant team a bit more time to deal the damage. You can use a snow pea to slow it down, and then you can use a bong choy to deal so much damage to it, it'll probably just get wrecked. Peter is okay. Snapdragon is okay. Spikeweed won't affect it, as you know, it's a flying enemy. Coconut cannon. Oh. Yeah, now that I think of it, a coconut cannon can really deal damage, same as cherry bomb. But I don't know if using just one shot to deal with a parrot that can steal your plants is better than dealing with a group of zombies behind the parrot. So that's something to think about as well. But let's not go too deep into it. I think we're done here for Part C's. And now we're going to move on to the Wild West levels. And I think the Wild West levels are okay, I guess. Now, first we'll move on to the Prospector Zombie. Now, the Prospector Zombie is not so dangerous. It really is not that dangerous. Probably it will affect your economy because it launches all the way and then eats your sunflowers. But in general, this guy will be able to shut it down pretty easily. And here's another thing. Like say, okay, let's remove this. And then we'll draw this again. So let's say this is your playing field. You have 5 lanes here. Now here's the last lane where you place all your sunflowers. Now if ever Prospector Zombie comes in early on, like say the second wave after the first normal zombie gets killed off, if he like pops up here and you don't have a sunflower ready yet here, you can just, let him fly and then just let him walk all the way. He's not really gonna do anything. Yeah, so you can just save, you don't really have to waste your time. He's not gonna, there's nothing for him to attack, and just go about your day as normal. And Prospector Zombies in general are very weak. They'll take 10 pea shooter shots before it dies, so it's not gonna end well for them at all. So yeah, that's mainly what I wanted to say. 10 shots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and when he flies, he lands, takes another piece of damage, and then the repeater hit will just finish him off. But when the main danger is if like there's a lot of prospector zombies stacked together, one single split pea won't be able to cut it. Maybe you need two. A good way to neutralize prospector zombies early on is, as I said, use a filter. In this case, it will be the spike weed, since it will spike on the first two columns that it walks on, and it will usually, if you have two columns in the first two front columns with spike weed, they will generally die very easily. Or you can try and defuse their dynamite fuse by using chilling plants like wintermelon. That will help out later on in later waves. Or you could use snow pea, or you could use iceberg lettuce, but that isn't really all that necessary, really. So, yep. Moving on, let's talk about the pianist zombie. Now, the pianist zombie is a very interesting character. As you know, it's a rolling type zombie, so the spike weed can generally take care of it pretty easily. There's a bug going on where when the pianist zombie rolls over a chili bean, it stops, turns green, the pianist farts, and then the whole piano gets destroyed, which is pretty funny actually. But in general, the main danger it comes in is like supposed to say that you have your lawnmowers here, right? Your lawnmowers at the back. Let's say this lane gets overrun, and the lawnmower just takes it back. Then all of a sudden, there's a pianist zombie rolling around here, and the zombies start dancing haphazardly, and then they start dancing onto the lane where the lawnmower has already been triggered. And then when you destroy a pianist zombie, you don't really have a defense set up here, and then the zombies can just waltz over right here and go right here. That's where the problem will start. That's where the main problem will be. If that were to happen, that would be quite disastrous, actually. So, yeah. So, that's the main thing about the pianist zombie here. So the pianist zombie is good to take it out early as possible. The spike weed will be able to take care of it pretty easily. If you stun it, like say it gets affected by farts or it gets stunned by butter, it will also stop playing and the zombies will stop dancing for a while. Fun fact. But in general, it's, yeah, just use spike weed, or you can just try to slow it down with wintermelon, or just deal as heck amounts of damage to just kill it. Like that. Also, I would like to say the Pharaoh zombie, if you remember the Colonel Pole shoots butter, but since the Pharaoh zombie is inside the sarcophagus, the butter won't affect it at all. Really, it won't really stun it. It will just keep on walking. Just to remind you. Of course, it's good against seagull zombies since the butter immediately kills the stuns the seagull, and then the whole thing drops. So yeah, but not very, not always very reliable. Just remember that. And okay. It will also stun prospector zombies and the fuse itself. Fun fact. And Colonel Pole is also good against explorer zombies to some extent, but it would be better to pair it up with the cabbage pole as well. It needs backup. It's a support plant, but Colonel Pole is a support plant, so it needs damage dealing plants to support it, like the cabbage pole. Okay, let's move on. Poncho zombie. Now, Poncho zombie, you treat it like any other bucket-wearing zombie, I guess. Since you have absolutely no idea what's behind the poncho. Here's a funny thing about the poncho zombie. Let's see whether they stated it here. It doesn't stain anything. Okay. So the poncho has a chance where the zombies grate may have the zombies poncho may have a metal grate which protects it against harsh damage, or it doesn't, which makes him as about as weak as this. In general, a good way to shut down the poncho zombie is to use the chili bean. Uh, but here's the thing, a funny thing about poncho zombies. If the poncho does not get removed when it gets hit by a coconut cannon, the zombie will die irrespective of whether or not he had the grave or not, if his poncho is still on it, which is quite funny. So you can exploit this weakness versus the poncho zombie with the coconut cannon, I guess. But General Chili Beans is able to shut it down pretty easily. And let me see. Winter Melons can also shut it down pretty easily, but it reveals the poncho. Not like the coconut cannon, which just causes everything to just die. Bong Choi is, yeah, just treat the poncho zombie like you would the buckethead zombie. Buckethead zombie. So yeah, that's all I had to say. And excusez-moi, use chili beans versus poncho zombies, especially if they are sent in quite early. Don't take the risk. Don't take the risk. Just go with the chili bean. All right. And now we move on to what I think is the most frustrating zombie to take care of, the Chicken Wrangler zombie. And the Chicken Wrangler zombie is a bit, if you remember what I said about like the lawnmowers here, right? And then if the lawnmower gets used up, there's supposed to be no zombies for like 10-20 seconds. But then the Chicken Wrangler zombie decides to pop up here. And then when the barbed wire pops, all the chickens will fly through here and right into your base, and then it will count as game over. For some reason, I don't know why chicken zombies. God damn it! Why they have to make chicken zombies a legit enemy that will eat your brains out? Why do they have to make it a zombie? Why can't they just like, oh, we're gonna run through here, but we're not gonna count as game over. We're gonna trigger your lawnmower, sure. We're gonna eat your plants, sure, but why can't they just do this? Why do chickens have to be considered as a game over sort of enemy? Why? Tell me why. Hotcat, why you do this? Why you do this? Why you do this? Okay. But as you know, chickens very weak. Shuts down, but gets shut down by lightning reed. But lightning reed is better off replaced with one column of spikeweeds or snapdragons or bok choys. And better plan. Once you have the momentum up, you can just replace the lightning reed. And remember not to use a one-hit KO plan on it, because even though you like the squash could kill the Chicken Wrangler zombie, but then the chickens will probably fly out after that anyway. Just to let you know. So this is one of the more dangerous enemies to face early on. And yeah, I would think that the two most dangerous zombies to face in Plants vs Zombies 2 would be, one is the Chicken Wrangler zombie, and the next one would be the Barrel Roller zombie and the Seagull zombie, and the Explorer zombie, of course. So these four are generally the more annoying ones. Pharaoh zombie to some extent, because it has a shell which blocks one-hit KO damage. So yeah, that's how you counter it. The zombie bull and the imp that rides the bull. Now in general, Okay, let's say that let's do this again. If the bull comes in and the bull meets up with any sort of plant, it will take a few steps back and then launch the imp over. Now, if he does not see any plant in his way, he's just gonna charge right in and all the way into your defenses. Especially if you have the lawnmower complete absent here. So always make sure to remember to put a plant right in front of the bull so it stops charging as close as possible. Spike weeds don't count. Spike weeds are not gonna affect the zombie bull in any way. They're just gonna go straight in and meet up with the first plant it sees. The squash can easily take it out before it can fling the imp, and that will be considered as the imp dying. Jalapeno can take care of it. Snow Pea can it meets up anything which is above of normal height, like the spike rocks. It just ignores it. Iceberg lettuce won't ignore. It will ignore it as well, but it will probably get frozen. So anything other than these two, this, and this, if it meets up, it's gonna stop and then backtrack, and then it's gonna fling fling the imp over. A good way to try and stop the zombie bull, since he moves pretty slowly, is that you can put spikeweed, bok choy with the walnut, and when the imp gets flung over, it will just land right behind this the bok choy. The bok choy will just punch the imp from behind, and whatever is gonna meet up. So in general, is not as dangerous as compared to like the imps being thrown with Gargantua, which gets thrown so far deep into your defenses. At least this one, it doesn't get flung too far. Of course, you could use the tall nut, but that isn't too necessary, as I already said before. Walnut should be sufficient, especially since you already have the bok choy to take care of the imp. Who knew? And finally, we have the treasure yeti. Now, I need to warn you about this because sometimes the treasure yeti will come in. Okay, let's say. Okay, let's say this is the last row, right? And let's pretend that this is the first row. The other columns are right here. Sorry, this first column. If you plant a spike weed here, and the Yeti zombie comes in, if he sees this thing here, he's just gonna immediately backtrack out of there. So he's just gonna go in. Oh, spikes. Okay, better back up. When you are up against a Yeti zombie encounter, do not plant any plants in the first lane, in the first column. Sorry, so that he will. And if he does not ever see a plant in the first column, he will just walk to like the third column and then start slowly walking back. It will buy you time. So never plant anything in the first column, then it buys you more time to actually for your plants to deal damage. Best suggested to use plant food on it, but on a plant to try and take out the Yeti zombie. But that's about it. And remember that Yetis do not appear in challenge levels. Who knew? So yeah, that's I think that's it for like all the zombies and how to counter them. But now we'll talk about zombies and how to what zombies to see, and how to prepare yourself for the zombie waves in challenge levels. Like, you know that there are gonna be different types of loadouts of zombies for each level. Like, say you may have a Pharaoh zombie, but you won't have a Tomb Raiser. You may have an Explorer zombie, and stuff like that. So first, look at what you're up against. If you're up against this guy, of course, this guy, and this guy, without this guy, and this guy, you would expect to have this guy as the toughest enemy there, with the camel zombies as backup slowly. And there may be quite a number of zombies that will be flying in through sandstorms. So what you want is a good filter, plants to take care of the tornado zombies as well. And yeah, but in general you want filters, so always bring a filter like the spikeweed or the snapdragon and bring them in. Then you can have the bok choy to take out, once they are properly filtered, you have the bok choy to take out the buckethead zombies. Buckethead zombies, yeah. Or if you know there's going to be a pharaoh zombie, you generally want to try and avoid like using a one-hit KO plan versus the pharaoh zombie, because it will only break the shell and the zombie outside can just run off. So just remember that. But yeah, and if you see Tomb Raider zombies, well, the decision on whether or not to bring the Gravebuster depends on, firstly, how many graves are there on the level initially at the start. If there's a whole bunch of graves, then bring in the Gravebuster regardless of the Tomb Raider zombie being present in that level. You should bring it in. But if you see like there's not many graves, but maybe the Tomb Raider zombie will be there as well. So what you might probably want to do is to focus on catapult type plants, because the Tomb Raider zombie will be able to raise tombs, you know. So if you know there's going to be Tomb Raider zombies there, don't bring pea shooting plants, because that will be quite a waste actually, because the pea shooting plants will be, their projectiles will be blocked by the graves, and it's not going to end well for them. So if there are Tomb Raider zombies, bring in catapult plants. If there's a lot of graves at the start, bring catapult plants. But if there's very few graves and no Tomb Raider zombies on that level, go ahead and just go to town with the pea shooting plants. Simple as that. Now the Explorer zombie, a few ways to take care of it would be first to use iceberg letters, then use other things. You can use the potato mine, no problem. Chili bean, absolutely not recommended unless you're the iceberg lettuce, because it's just gonna walk over. Make sure you are able to deal the damage fast, efficiently. Squash is a great all-round one-hit KO plan. It can kill almost anything. So if you have the squash, bring it in all your levels as much as possible. So yeah. But that's it for the ancient Egypt levels. Alright, we'll move on to Pirates. Oh, god damn it. Okay, we'll move on to Pirate Seas levels. Okay, so Swashbuckler Zombie, as I said, if you only see that the main things you want to gauge for your like unplanked lane defense is you look at find imp cannons, seagull zombies, and swashbuckler zombies. These three are the most important. If there's only swashbuckler zombies coming in, you can just generally leave the unplanked areas full of spikes, and then you can in fact increase your sunflower production, because you take advantage of just having the swashbuckler zombies there only. So in this case, you can increase the number of sunflowers that you have by planting them on the... Oh god damn it. Wow, that was loud. So just plant sunflower plants on those lanes and you should be fine. And then if you see seagull zombies, now these are quite tricky. Generally you want filter plants that are long range, so Bloomerang and Melon Pulse will be able to deal with that. So yeah, make sure you have that. The Bok Choy won't be able to deal a whole horde of seagull zombies at once, because it only deals damage one at a time, as I already said. So use the snapdragon if you need to in those cases. And if you meet up with the imp cannons, a good way to use it is Bloomerang to deal with the imps that get fired off, with some Bong Choy support to help finish off the imps, so that the Bloomerang will have a better time to aim at the imp cannon itself. Solves the problem of not having the imp cannon explode. You can use the spike weed if the imp cannon is on an unplanked planked lanes, is being fired at planked lanes. Tall nuts won't be able to block the zombies that get fired over if the imp cannon explodes, as I already said. Another way would be to use melon pulse, but because it fires slowly, it will generally deal damage to the fired imps rather than the imp cannon. You can try that out, and I tell you, you will realize why I say that later on. So it's best to like use a Bong Choy with a Bloomerang or the melon pole later on, once you have the momentum up. But if you meet up, like, more importantly, if you meet up like, say, imp cannon and seagull zombie, you will generally want to make sure that you have the penetrating power. So what I like to use on the unplanked lanes, like say this is let's say we cancel this out. This is the unplanked lane. What I like to do is I like to put a walnut here, a Bong Choy here, and then a Bloomerang here for initial filter damage, and then a melon pulse later on here. Kernel pulse in general won't be able to deal a lot of damage. Bloomerangs will deal more damage, and it deals more damage to multiple targets. So, and kernel pulse can only deal damage to one target at a time, and it deals very little damage, and it's not really going to work, especially in harder levels where the imp cannons or the seagull zombies come in pretty early, and you might have a big problem during those times. Jalapeno can take care of the I don't know if the jalapeno can take care of the zombies, the imp cannons on unplanked lanes. I don't really know for sure. I had to check that, but I think it can. Let's see. Coconut cannons can insta kill an imp cannon on a direct hit, but make sure you don't fire the coconut cannon if like there's an imp on the on one of the unplanked lanes that isn't dead yet. Then basically that coconut cannon attack will basically be a failure. So yeah, just a few things to note. Pirate Captain Zombie in general is not so dangerous, so you can treat it like any other plant. But if you're afraid that the zombie pirate might steal your defensive plants, it might be good to bring along both the walnut and the tall nut at the same time. Or if you have the imitator, bring on 2 walnuts. So yeah. Barrel roller zombies, now those, as I said, is best countered with long range filter plants or catapult plants, like say the Bloomerang, or maybe even the or the melon pulp, winter melon. The kernel pulp could be good in this case since it stuns and then it assists the Bloomerang. But generally, 2 support plants together isn't really gonna equal into a lot of damage dealt in the long run. Usually what you do is 1 filter and 1 early damage dealer, or 1 support and 1 damage dealer, like this, and it will be able to take care of barrel roll zombies. But do keep in mind that the barrel will still be there when you kill the barrel roll zombies, so you'll want to make sure that you can take care of the imps that come out of the barrel later on. So just to let you know. Alright. There was actually one level where There were no swashbuckler zombies, no seagull zombies, and no imp cannons. You know what this means, right? If you have 0 enemies on Pirate Seas levels that can cross the unplanked lanes, the unplanked lanes is basically sunflower heaven. You just plant as many sunflowers as you can here, and don't even care about placing sunflowers here. Just go on all attack on the plank lanes. God damn it, it's gotta be messy. So if you're lucky enough to get this, go to town. Exploit it as much as possible. You plant sunflowers here, sunflower here, sunflower here, sunflower. If here is unplanked, also plant sunflowers, and just focus on these 2 lanes. Don't care if the pirate zombies come in and just steal sunflower. What's one sunflower gonna do when you have like 14 other sunflowers to put in there? And so yeah, that was actually quite that really was quite interesting when that happened. So yeah, it's basically a free round for you if you know what you're doing. All right. With that, we'll move on to the last level, and that is the Wild West level. So here, first we'll focus, if you see Prospector zombies, of course, you know the obvious counter would be the Split Pea, very strong. If he goes out in the early waves, you can just ignore it if there's no plants in the way for it to eat. If you want to kill the prospector zombie before its dynamite explodes, use spikeweed, or you can chill out their fuse using a winter melon. Snapdragon would be able to relight the fuse, but in general it's not really that dangerous, especially since it has split P backup as well. Or you can use iceberg lettuce to defuse the fuse, but it'll still be able to run through your defense if you're not careful. Potato mine might work, and also squash might work as well. Chili bean might work as well. I don't know if you eat the chili bean, it will probably fart the other way into right into your house, so that would be pretty funny. But oh well. Next, piano zombie, obvious spikeweed, deal damage to it until it dies, or exploit if there was a bug, use the chili bean if the bug is still there. Walnuts not gonna deal a lot of damage. Winter melons can slow it down significantly for all the other plants to deal damage. Iceberg lettuce to freeze it temporarily. Kernel pulp to stun it temporarily so it stops playing for a while. Or you can use it in still kill plant like the cherry bomb or the jalapeno if you want. Yeah, but 2 ways: use insta kill plant, use spikeweed, or use just deal damage. And generally, once you have the setup up, you can deal a lot of damage to the piano zombie without really needing any one-hit KO plants. Poncho zombies, obviously, you wanna satisfy his appetite for death of chili beans. Best plan. Another plan would be use coconut cannons before his poncho is removed, so you can kill him even if he has a great on it. His poncho is still intact. When you use the coconut cannon, it will die. I don't know if that's a bug or something. Or just go straight outright damage and treat him like any other bucket hit zombie. Alright, chicken wrangler zombie, very tough to counter. If chicken wrangler zombies come out early on, you want to make sure you have a lightning reed right behind your lines to be ready for the incoming chicken attack. But in general, once you have the momentum, and the lightning reed can be replaced by other things like the snapdragon or the spikeweed, and that should be fine. If you don't see any chicken wrangler zombies, obviously you don't really need to bring the lightning reed. So if you see a certain zombie that is on the field or not on the field, tailor your plant loadout in such a way. Zombie chickens can actually eat the chili bean and then fart, which is pretty funny actually. Zombie bull. Remember, zombie is mechanical, so it won't get affected by chili bean because it's mechanical. Zombie bull rider can be affected by the chili bean. A good way to take care of the bull is just because it's quite a large area. In fact, you can put like two spikes underneath it, and the two spikes will be able to deal simultaneous damage to the bull. So it's great. You can use the bok choy. Butter, I think, can affect it. Yeah, I think butter can affect it. Coconut cannon won't deal enough damage to outright kill the bull immediately. Slowing down the bull is a good idea. Squashing the bull is a good idea. Using the jalapeno to destroy both the zombie and the imp and the bull is a good idea. So not so dangerous, but just remember to make sure there's a plant in front of the bull to make it stop charging all the way straight through your defenses. That's the bad part about the zombie bull. But I think you get the picture. Alright, and with that, I think we are done. Yes, we are done with the main strategies of how to play Plants vs. Zombies 2 on challenge levels. Just to let you know, just to remind you all that you should tailor your loadout based on what zombies are present on that level and what zombies are not present on that level. So if you see don't see an explorer zombie, go to town with chili bean. If you see an explorer zombie, don't take the chili bean. If you see the pharaoh zombie, chili bean may not work as well because he doesn't fart when he's in the sarcophagus shell for some reason. If you see a barrel roller zombie, don't bring any pea shooting plants. If you see Tomb Raiser zombies, try not to bring any pea shooting plants as well. Bring catapult plants. If you don't see any Tomb Raiser zombies, bring in catapult plants unless the initial level has been littered with graves. Then you might want to bring catapult plants instead. Instead of pea shooting plants, even though there's no Tomb Raiser zombies. If there's barrel roll zombies, catapult plants or boomerangs will be able to penetrate right into the heart of the zombie and kill the zombie that's pushing the barrel. Or you can, in fact, you can also use like the spring bean to fling away, like if the barrel roller zombie pushes the barrel on a plank lane near water, you can use the spring bean to launch the barrel into the water, and it will basically neutralize the payload effect of having to kill the barrel very easily. So yeah, just to let you know. Imp cannons, if you see swashbuckler zombies only and not the seagull zombies or the imp cannons, just spike the unplanked lanes and you should be fine. And then you can also increase your sunflower productivity that way. If you don't see this guy, or this guy, just litter the whole unplanked lanes with sunflowers. For Wild West, if you see panda zombies, spikeweed, and poncho zombies, use chili beans at all times. Chicken wrangler zombies, use lightning reed, but replace it with another filter plant later on. Zombie bull, you treat it like the gargantuar. You can deal damage anyway. And let's see, did I miss out anything? No, I don't think I missed out anything. And if you have the money, go ahead and buy some premium plants. In fact, the wiki has separated the types of plants into like production, power lily, defensive, debuffers, here, direct damage, area of effect damage, insta kill, utility type plants. But I think my list is pretty more specific. But yeah, that's I think that's about it. Alright, that will be the series, guys. I think that should be the end of the series, unless you guys like decide like you guys want to ask me about what loadouts are good in these kind of situations. Then maybe I'll talk about 7-plant loadout, since everyone all has 7 plants, unless you decide to use money to buy more plant slots. Then we'll just focus on 7-plant defense in this case. So maybe on the next episode we can talk about a 7-plant defense for each level, depending on what zombies. Wait, no, not this one. Depending on what zombies are on the list, on the level itself. So yeah. Alright guys, that's it for today. If you like what you see, subscribe to my YouTube, like this video if you like it, recommend this video, recommend my channel to everyone else, and stuff like that. If you like to watch TF2, I stream live on my Twitch account. It's with the same name, Gozu-san, so you can just find it through there. And anyway, if you follow my Twitch as well, if you want to see me play more TF2, because usually I just stream TF2 there and nothing else. If you have a recommendation of what game I should play next, though I don't really play a lot of games because I mainly focus on TF2. So nah, I'm not gonna waste my time with that. So yeah, I'm not gonna ask you that. But other than that, that's it. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys again next time for the next video. Peace out everyone. Thanks for coming.